Luigi Mangione's pretrial hearing is scheduled to begin in just a few minutes in New York State Court. Remember, we don't know exactly what is going to transpire at the hearing, but I would expect that a lot of the outstanding motions that Karen Agnifilo has filed over the last several months are fair game. The judge may or may not hear additional arguments from the parties on several of these motions and make a ruling. Perhaps the judge will schedule additional court time to hold specific hearings on some of these issues. Karen Agnifilo's motion to dismiss is pending. Motions in limine related to the backpack, the journal, the gun, cousin Luigi's statement. All of that is potential fair game for today's hearing. Now remember, there will be no video cameras at the hearing to record it in real time, but there may be video footage of cousin Luigi coming in and out of the courtroom. There may be still photography of him at the table, much like we saw at the last hearing when his ankles went viral.
Breaking news out of New York City, federal prosecutors have indicted Luigi Mangione in connection with the shocking killing of a Manhattan healthcare executive. A grand jury returned a 4-count indictment charging Mangione with the serious federal crimes that could carry decades behind bars if he is convicted. Hello guys, welcome back to my social commentary. I hope you are doing good and you are watching the video. So like we always say, we are not criticizing, neither are we supporting. All we are doing is publicizing. So in the major legal twist, the New York jury has dismissed the terrorism charge against Luigi Mangione in the murder of the United Healthcare executive Brian Thompson. So guys, if today is your first time of coming across our video, do well to subscribe to our channel and tell us what you think about this particular video in the comment section. Please ensure to like and share the video to help the channel out.
Journal, the gun, cousin Luigi's statement. All of that is potential fair game for today's hearing. Now remember, there will be no video cameras at the hearing to record it in real time, but there may be video footage of cousin Luigi coming in and out of the courtroom. There may be still photography of him at the table, much like we saw at the last hearing when his ankles went viral. Also, I have already heard people drawing comparisons between Luigi Mangione's case and the case against Charlie Kirk's killer. And while I could probably do an entirely separate video on the implications of that comparison to Luigi specifically, I will say this. We have also seen a number of people being fired from their jobs for things that they had to say about the Charlie Kirk case. I would say the same holds true for the Luigi Mangione case. And so to all of you who are out there watching, either from inside the courthouse in Manhattan or outside the courthouse in Manhattan or from TikTok and Instagram land, just remember, you are pretty much free to say whatever you want to whomever you want on whatever platform you choose, but you are not free from the consequences of your choices.
It's already been a very busy Tuesday morning. Currently, a New York judge has dismissed the 2 state-level terrorism charges against Luigi Mangione, the alleged shooter in the death of the United Healthcare CEO, as well as the first-degree murder charges. Kash Patel is in a hearing answering questions about his handling or mishandling of the FBI, and there are rumors swirling that Dan Bongino is about to get chopped. And President Trump is answering questions before his second state visit to the UK, where people have printed out a massive poster of he and Jeffrey Epstein to be seen right outside of Windsor Court. Now, there are also rumors that a deal has been reached in the TikTok ban, and President Trump says that he's going to confirm it Friday with President Xi. However, the ban is supposed to go into effect tomorrow, September 17th. And you guys, I would not put it past this administration or anyone in our government to make us go dark again. And I think that this is something that should be really paid attention to while we are anticipating President Trump's address to the UN General Assembly on September 23rd, as TikTok is a big communication tool for a lot of us. So I'm just kind of worried that we might go dark tomorrow, regardless of the framework for a deal being reached. What do you guys think? You think they're just going to roll it over, or do you think we're going to go dark tomorrow? I don't know, but everything going on, God bless America.
The judge in the Luigi Mangione case has dismissed terror-related murder charges. The argument comes from the defense saying that terrorism in New York must be against multiple civilians, and so what he did doesn't qualify, which is an absurdity. I think on the technicalities, they may be correct if that's what it is, and there's not much you can do about it. But let me just say on the surface, no one is surprised that New York is basically dropping charges against this guy, or at the very least, that Bragg brought charges against a guy that were no good. I don't trust this system. I don't trust these people. And I will tell you, when you've got a leftist-run New York DA's office and said leftists, as an ideological cult, faction, whatever you want to call it, have made images of Luigi Mangione as a saint. Don't be surprised that this falls apart. Now, this is cleverly done. I would argue Hanlon's razor, they call it. Never argue malice for that which can be explained by incompetence. And that is, Alvin Bragg may just be real dumb in bringing charges that did not apply to an individual. Yep. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say I don't think they are coincidences. When you have people lionizing Luigi Mangione, and the charge that was brought against him is for multiple civilian deaths, and it's plain as day in the statute, and Alvin Bragg goes, well, I guess you got me, gonna have to drop the charges. Amazing. Coincidence? Perhaps. CNN reporting. A New York judge on Tuesday dismissed 2 terror-related murder charges against Luigi Mangione, finding they are legally insufficient, according to the judge's ruling. Mangione, the 27-year-old man accused of gunning down former United Healthcare CEO, still faces a count of murder in the second degree. It was premeditated. He shot the guy in the back, and now the first-degree charges have been dropped. Now, that being said, it's all alleged, and we will see. We will see. Mangione's defense had argued that charges of murder in the first degree in furtherance of an act of terrorism and murder in the second degree as a crime of terrorism should be tossed because crimes of terrorism, as defined in New York state legislation, refer to attacks on multiple civilians, not shooting a single individual. So why did Bragg bring charges that did not apply? We go over this all the time. There are numerous cases throughout the country that we've reported on that the law enforcement says, we can't bring first-degree murder because of this reason or that reason. It wasn't premeditated, it's second degree, it's passion, whatever. In this instance, with more than enough time, and purportedly with more than enough evidence, they got it wrong. Could have just charged him with first-degree murder for premeditating this. And that's
update on Big Luigi here. Luigi is still in court. His trial is still going on. And today, the judge in his case decided to drop the terrorism charges that were filed against him. They said that the filing of these charges was legally insufficient. Now, this essentially means that the judge said that the prosecution did not meet the standard of what would be considered terrorism. So those charges will not stick, and he will not be on trial for those charges. His trial is still going to be about second degree, and this is still about the unaliving of that CEO. And December 1st is going to be the next court date, and they are going to talk about certain evidence being suppressed or not even allowed at all in the trial. And this has to do with Luigi's medical records. I think also the videotape of the alleged crime occurring and a few other things. So I just saw this. It came across my newsfeed today, and I thought I'd give you guys an update because I haven't heard much about Luigi in a while. So here you go.
The judge has just dismissed 2 terror-related charges against Luigi Mangione, the 27-year-old accused of killing the former CEO of United Healthcare. CNN's Kara Scannell is right outside that courthouse in New York and joins us now. So, Kara, what more are you learning about why the judge dismissed these charges?
Well, Pam, as soon as the judge took the bench, he announced his ruling, and he said he was dismissing these 2 terrorism charges relating to the murder of United Healthcare CEO, saying that they were legally insufficient. He wrote in a written opinion that there was no indication in the statute that murder committed for an ideological reason, in this case greed and inequality in the healthcare system, fits within the definition of terror without establishing necessary elements of intent to intimidate or coerce the civilian population. So the judge tossing those 2 charges in a win for Mangione, though he is still facing murder in the second degree as well as some other related charges. So he will be facing those charges still as this will move forward. When Mangione, the judge made that decision, our producer Carolyn Sung was outside and she heard supporters erupt into applause and cheers. There's still a number of supporters around here. About 24 of them made it into the courtroom. Today, Mangione was again walked in and heavily armed, surrounded by court officers. He was shackled as he usually is, and today he was wearing a beige prison jumpsuit. He was not changed into street clothes, which was notable. He did not appear to have any expression on his face throughout the hearing, which was fairly brief. Now, the judge also said that he was not granting the defense motion on double jeopardy. They were hoping to get the entire case thrown out because he is facing federal charges. The judge saying that there is still plenty of time for a 2-month trial to take place here on state charges, whether it's going to be lengthy, often what could span for years of motions and trial practice before this case gets to a federal trial, because the Justice Department is seeking the death penalty in that case. So a partial victory here from Mangione. We did not see any expression from him, but the next time he will be back in this courthouse will be on December 1st. Pam?
Breaking news.
How you doing, buddy? Good? It's been great, man.
Trending now, young radicals in New York are cheering and chanting after Luigi Mangione has his terror charges dropped. Seriously, Mangione is accused in the death of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson last December. Prosecutors tried to call it terrorism, rightfully so, but the judge said they couldn't prove he intended to intimidate a population, and that's the legal definition of terrorism. So with those charges gone, Luigi is not free. The homicide charge still stands, and he's also facing federal counts where the death penalty could still be on the table. Here's what's going viral outside the courthouse. Crowds were hugging, waving Antifa-style signs and chanting, "Free Luigi." They're celebrating an accused suspect like he's some kind of hero. It's sick. And it's happening right after Charlie Kirk's assassination. Instead of rejecting political violence, they're normalizing it. They're showing us that violence is fine as long as it fits their political agenda. And that's the real crisis. It's not just about how we define terrorism in court. It's about how mobs are treating political bloodshed like it's some kind of cause to celebrate. Mangione still has to answer for homicide, thankfully. But the crowd cheering him on, that's a warning sign of how broken the far left has become. What do you think? Is this justice, or is it dangerous to celebrate like this? It's certainly not a both side argument now, is it? Drop your thoughts and comments, and make sure you follow for more breaking news they don't want you to hear.
I told y'all. Our boy Luigi had the schmerism charges thrown out by a state court judge today. As I told you, those charges were never gonna fucking stick, ever. If they went to trial with it, he would have beat it without a fucking thought. And I've also told you he's gonna beat the federal case, because there is no evidence for the predicate offenses of stalking, which are the jurisdictional hook to charge him with that. So when the jury goes to the deliberations and says he's not guilty of stalking, that's the end of the case. They don't consider that because they don't have jurisdiction, okay? So, he's facing 20 to 25 to life. That's what the ultimate reality is in this state case. Yes, he's still got to beat the federal case. Karen's still got to get her game up. But he's going to get out. Like I told y'all motherfuckers, all y'all haters, like he's going down. No, he ain't. No, he ain't. And our boy looking a little beefier. You know, he's trying to look like your boy and shit. You know, we can try to get our weight up. But, it's a good day, man. I'll look at everything else that went on in here and do a video on that, but let's go, man.
The document reveal new details surrounding the case, and prosecutors said they are confident in the strength of the evidence. While Mangione maintains his innocence, the case has already sparked outrage and raised questions about safety in the heart of New York City. As this legal battle unfolds, all eyes will be on the courtroom to see whether the justice is truly served, as Mangione was discharged and released to go today. Hello guys, thank you for watching our video. We really appreciate it. So the New York judge Gregory Caro has ruled that the prosecutors has failed to prove that Mangione intended to terrorize anyone in the workplace, public or government, so which is a criteria required under the New York terrorism law. So guys, thank you for watching our video. We really appreciate it. Do well to subscribe to our channel so that more videos about what is happening in the country will pop up your screen, and please do ensure to like and share our video to help the channel out. You're welcome.